Go ahead.
All right, all right, all right. We're back. We're back, baby.
Hello, everybody.
Segment 2. What is this, episode 15 or 16?
17.
17?
17.
I wrote down the wrong number.
And now I'm going to live check this again, just to make sure.
Is it 17? Jeez.
Yeah, 17. Yeah,
We're punching them
episodes
out.
that were segments that were uploaded last time.
We're punching them out, ladies and gents.
Absolutely.
On a weekly basis. Yeah, this is going to be an awesome discussion.
It's going to be a fun one. This is going to be a very fun one. Just like the last segment, we're going to make this very fun, and that is discussing everyone's favorite or the mainstream's favorite Christmas movies.
Christmas movies.
And this is going to be a mixture of things. So we're going to talk about like our personal favorites and also what the movies that are considered Christmas movies, either because, they are because they're set during it, or that's the overall theme or something, so you may agree with, or something you may disagree with, and then debates on whether one movie or the sequel is more of Christmas or they equally are and stuff. So I guess we could just start off with, we could start off with our favorites because I have one that we can segue
and
into.
You're looking dapper. He's got the hat on.
I'm sorry.
He's already got his
my
Stranger Things
Christmas sweater.
Christmas sweater.
Got the hat, and then as I showed you in the last episode, I'm wearing my Star Wars Christmas shirt. So I'm really trying to duke it out this time.
And I don't have anything. We're kind of like losers.
Yeah, man.
Shows
Like
up
what?
to
You had your
Christmas
Santa
show.
hat.
I can't find my Santa hat. I can't even find my Santa underwear, so I'm freeballing it at the moment. I didn't need
and
to
at this
know
point, I
that.
would have been like, that's it. It's like,
I'm just kidding. I do have underwear on. It's a scary sight if I don't.
Again,
but we didn't
probably
need to know
assumed that.
I digress for momentarily, but yeah, I don't have any Christmas attire on. But we're in the barn. It's a little cold. It's not as bad as it was last time, like we said in segment 1. But let's just jump in. That's what we do best, is just jump in to the topic. So Christmas movies. Let's just start out with like your top. Give me your top 3. Like, what are your top
3, top
movies?
5? Because there's so many Christmas movies.
That is true. We'll go top 5.
But I'm not like dedicated or watching Christmas movies all the time. But I've watched a good amount throughout my life.
We'll start off. We'll go from engine to caboose. What is your all-time favorite? You personally, your favorite Christmas movie?
So when I know I'm going to sound a little like particular when asking this, but are you talking about a movie like the theme is Christmas, or it can be a movie that's set during Christmas, but that's not the overall theme of the movie?
No, a choice A, like a movie that's in the public perception of being a Class A Christmas movie.
So, like, not the joking ones like Die Hard, for example, or anything like that. Actual, so
that
if
are set during Christmas, but they're not necessarily Christmas movies.
I debate with myself on what is my favorite Christmas movie, because there's a debate between the Jim Carrey Grinch movie. I adore that movie.
It's a great movie.
It's an amazing flick. And I also love Home Alone. I love Home Alone. Now,
who doesn't?
Now,
what a great movie.
They're probably, people like to say Home Alone's a Christmas movie, but then you can also say, well, it's kind of not a Christmas movie because it may be set during it, but it's mainly about a kid fighting bad guys. Whereas something like The Grinch, for example, is literally set like every sentence or every other sentence that comes out of people's mouths is the word like Christmas. Like they literally throughout the movie they're like, tomorrow's Christmas or this week is Christmas. All these people celebrate Christmas. Oh, I can't wait for Christmas is like a
Christmas,
very common.
Yeah, it's
so I think in terms of actual Christmas movie, I think from a Christmas movie perspective, like a theme, probably The Grinch, just because the overarching theme is the fact that the story is about Christmas. Like, the Grinch hates Christmas. Whoville loves Christmas. So I probably would say The Grinch with Jim Carrey.
It's the Jim Carrey version.
And I love the original, too. I think the only problem with the original is it's an amazing, like, if they made that longer, I think that would be my favorite. But it's a 25-minute segment. So, I don't think that's fair. I think it's just
I'm with you.
I love it to death. I will watch every year. In fact, I'm going to watch it on Christmas Day. It's just fantastic. But I also, like I said, the Jim Carrey one. But if I just pick a movie, what's set on Christmas, but is very close to having the theme be about Christmas, is Home Alone. Now, again, you can't still say it's a Christmas movie because the story is about how Kevin is abandoned accidentally on Christmas Day. And, but I just think, Grinch was more focused as a Christmas movie. Whereas Home Alone, yes, there was an element of Christmas added to it because that's what the plot was about. But the main thing was this kid is a badass and knows how to protect his home better than half the people in America probably could nowadays, even with the amount of guns we have. But I digress with that one. But you say top five, or you just want to leave it there and then you can.
Yeah, those are a great couple of movies.
Polar Express is a personal favorite.
And you just saw it recently.
Yeah, as I said in the last segment, that I took Morgan to see it in theaters because they've been doing a lot of re-releases, so that's one of the things that I took her to. I love, again, these are like more segments or shorts or something like that, but like, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer,
right?
Frosty the Snowman, but these are all like 40-minute things. I know you're going to say, well, life doesn't determine what's a bit, like, that's not a debate I'm interested in.
It's not like a movie, but they're so much fun.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun.
Do you know Frosty the Snowman it was in one of my trivia shows. I still am in shock over that. It was a song, and they developed the character from the song, and then that's how they developed the entire Frosty the Snowman franchise. It was just from a song. Well, it was kind of, Frosty the Snowman, and it was like, well, okay, then they developed the character, then they made the animated film, and it became like an instant holiday classic. It's pretty wild. I didn't know that.
It's just like how they made a movie. I know it's not Christmas related, but the fact that they managed to make one little thing into a movie. It's just like John Cusack playing the Raven. The Raven was based on a poem. It wasn't even based on a book or something like that. They managed to take a poem and just put it into a movie.
Wow.
So it's like, I don't know. I didn't read the poem. I watched it. I thought the movie was okay, but, it's... what can I say? I didn't read the poem, so therefore I can't compare the movie to the poem.
Right.
My grandma, may she rest in peace, she was very familiar with the Raven poem, and when the movie was coming out, she gave me some trivia on it. Fortunately, I was a preteen, so I didn't maintain that information like I probably would now. But I digress. That's a small tangent to get on. But
all right,
what are your favorites?
Yeah, I'll throw my hat.
Your favorite and favorites, like top five or.
I would say. And this is gonna sound crazy, and a lot of people are gonna laugh because it kind of fits, me. But I mean, there's two different I split it into two. Like, what's your favorite Christmas personal family movie that you have personal memories to that really ties in with the idea of family, which is what Christmas is all about, in terms of love, family, the religious aspect, Christ. The whole deal. That's a different movie, but my all-time just favorite movie, which I find hilarious and highly underrated, is Billy Bob Thornton and Bad Santa. I just love that movie.
I haven't watched those movies.
There's a couple scenes in that movie where I literally, when I saw it in the theater, there's only 3 movies. Borat was one of them, where I literally rolled out of my movie chair and I wound up on the floor.
I can just imagine.
I was laughing so hard. I mean, it happened in Borat, happened in the original Ace Ventura in 1991 with Jim Carrey. I was literally on the ground.
Was that 91? I thought it was 93.
93. I think you're right. 93. My bad. And I think the sequel was 95? 2 years later.
I believe it
96,
was
something like that.
Or maybe Ace Ventura was. Actually, I don't remember.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. Because I was a young guy in I believe either in junior high or it was a long time ago. But anyways, I love Bad Santa. I wound up on the floor. I remember there was something on each one of those movies. I had a different candy or food stuck to my face when I sat back in my chair. In Borat, it was
Ace Ventura was 94.
94, okay.
February 94.
We were close. It was wild. I laughed so hard. Billy Bob Thornton's character in that movie, it's
95
he is a very underrated actor. In terms of the things he's been in. he doesn't give enough. He doesn't get enough love, so to speak. But I loved him in Bad Santa. I highly recommend anybody go see that movie. There's a scene where he's watching a girl walk by in the mall, and it's Santa, and it's so funny. Like what ends up happening is just the movie is so off the reservation. When I'm watching it, I'm like, how did this movie get made? This is so not a Christmas movie.
Oh,
This is like a soft porn. It was hilarious. And then in terms of like a movie tied to like memories, family, I can still remember as a young kid watching A Christmas Story with my dad. It was one of the few movies my dad's a great guy, you know, rest in peace. I miss him every day. He was hilarious, just a character that I've never met before, or I never will meet anybody like him since. He was just a unique guy. Right here. Bite on this. I'm like, what are they biting on? Why are you so mad? So, but anyways, I remember watching 2 movies with my dad. Those were the only 2 I ever watched with him, because he just never sat, and he didn't enjoy movies per se. But he liked A Christmas Story. He loved the fact that it was filmed. A lot of it was filmed in Cleveland. He just loved the story of Christmas. I had that same incident. This is a funny story that I can go on a 30-second tangent. When they're changing the tire on the car, you know, they run something over, it pops, then they get out of the car, and I had that same almost exact experience with my dad, where when I was a young kid, I was helping him change a tire, and I said, it was the first time I ever dropped the F-bomb, like in front of him. Oh, fudge. And then the narrator in A Christmas Story, but I didn't say fudge. I said the old number 1, the mother of them all swear words, and that's what I did. I was like, oh, fudge, like that. And he goes, I remember my dad had his cigarette, because he was always smoking. It was dangling, and he goes, well, I'll never forget it. It was a terrible example as a father. He goes, what the F did you just say? And I was like, what you just said? He goes, get in the car right now. And like, I went home, and he tells my mom, do you know what your son said today? And then I didn't get the shit beat out of me by my dad. It was my mom. He said, what? So, like, where did he hear that? Jeez, I wonder. I heard it 50 times a day from my old man. He used to use that word. Like, there was 3 languages in my house growing up. He's like, there's English, there's French, because my mom knew a little French. She was part French. And there's Teamster talk. And that's that. You don't do Teamster talk. Only Dad does. And I was like, yeah, Dad, you do a lot of it. There's a lot of F words running around here. Geez, I wonder why I screwed up. My brother will probably watch this podcast. He's like, what happened to us? And I was like, it's pretty self-evident. We experienced a childhood with Dad. He was certifiable. The greatest guy ever, but he was nuts. Just get out of a car and start screaming at people in traffic, and it's like, oh my God, I can't believe he did that. And then I, as an adult with my brother in the car, did that. I got out, I went up to a Cadillac. I think the guy shit his pants. I go, did you just flip me off? You know, my brother's like, oh my God, what are you doing? You can't do this. You can't get out of the car. What if the guy had a gun? I was like, well, he gave me the bird. I had to go address that. He goes, your dad. Your dad. And I go, oh my God, I'm my father. So like, yeah, it was crazy. I watched that movie. I digress for more than 30 seconds, obviously, but I watched that movie with my old man. I love that movie. I love the story. The acting in the movie's fantastic.
Can't say I fully watched it. You said it's like a Christmas Story. You said,
yeah, and I know a lot of people.
I didn't fully watch that movie through.
It's like
parts.
There is a like kind of an energy about it where it's got blown out of proportion. It's a little overrated, but it's still an excellent movie to watch around Christmas. It's that perfect movie. It's perfect flow. It's perfect timing to watch around Christmas time. I also watched another. Well, we can jump right into the next subject, which is perfect. Um, is like a movie that the public perception is not a Christmas movie per se, but you and I view it as a Christmas movie that we watch around Christmas time, that we really think it's a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
I'll just go and then I'll lead into you.
Please, I start off the last.
It's Godfather. Like, it's really weird.
Huh?
I watch Godfather almost every Godfather 2. I like the second one better. But I always watch Godfather 2 around Christmas time.
Seriously?
Again, because
Really?
that's the other movie I saw with my dad. I only saw
That
two
was his
movies.
other one? Wow.
I only saw 2 movies.
Still
in
haven't
my
watched
life.
part 2.
Yeah, I've only seen 2 movies. You know what? This movie I gotta buy, and maybe we can watch it in the barn.
What?
Because I always watch it like when it's on TV or in an airplane. If I go around Christmas time, I always find The Godfather in the airplane and watch it on an airplane. I don't own it, so maybe that's something over the next week. And the next time we have a little barn movie fest over here in my 20-degree barn. That's so enjoyable. Everybody's like got a scarf and a hat and gloves. And I was like, hey, how's everybody liking movie night? You know, and they're like, I can't even eat the popcorn because I got gloves on. So, yeah, it's just a total train wreck. But
Next time we have a movie like that, should
that's
be over
me.
hot chocolate.
I know what yours is. I'll let you tell the audience
Sure.
because I love that movie as well. But that's, for me, no one interprets The Godfather, either 1, 2, or 3, as a Christmas movie. But for me personally, because of my affinity to only have watched 2 movies
So it's
with my father.
It's not the setting of Godfather.
It's
2,
not the
but
setting. It's just for the personal
because-
memory that I
Sure,
saw.
and I don't
that.
think there's anything wrong
Yeah.
with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all.
So
Everyone
yours
has
are a
their
little
own-
different because yours is actually set during Christmas. But
And
again,
in the original, the prequel, not prequel, but prequel by definition is something that came before the movie that set before and stuff. Yeah, mine is so. To start it off, to kick it off, everyone says the joke, and I would kind of agree to a small extent. When people say this, I'll be like, I'll humor them. I'm not gonna really agree, but I'm not gonna disagree either. I guess you can say neutral. A lot of people in the public, I will say that Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Either jokingly, like it's not Christmas until Hans Gruber is thrown or knocked off the building or something. I forget what happened. I don't know if he was shot, then knocked off, or he got knocked off. I think he got knocked off, then he died or something like that. But I actually would argue that it not just one of my favorite Christmas movies set during Christmas, but it is arguably more of a Christmas movie than that one. Die Hard is Die Hard 2. And the reason why I can make this argument is because people say Die Hard's a Christmas movie, and yeah, you might see a Christmas light here and there, like at John McClane's wife's building. I think they were hosting a Christmas work party conference type thing or something, so they were hosting that type of thing. And it's set on Christmas Eve. But there really isn't a lot of Christmas elements in there other than the little theme that you see of like the work party or something. I don't even remember, come to think of it, I don't even think I fully remember if there was really any Christmas decorations in one. Although, I'll just say, just to humor the fan base of Die Hard, maybe there was 1 or 2 in Die Hard 1. But it was set on Christmas Eve. There's no Christmas music that plays until the credits of the movie. Constantly. Not constantly. It's only at the end of the film when the credits roll. And similar to Die Hard 2, the credits do roll, oh, the weather outside is,
I love that.
Yeah. Like, it plays
I'm sorry.
But the thing is, Die Hard 2 is set on Christmas. You see more Christmas decorations. There is more Christmas references and Christmas music in there. I'm just surprised that nobody talks about Die Hard 2. In Die Hard 2, honestly, this would have been a good honorable mention to our last episode, the third segment of, pop culture, unpopular pop culture opinions. That is one of the cases. No disrespect to Die Hard 1. I absolutely love Die Hard 1. Although I do love Die Hard 1. It's not my favorite, but I love it. I think Die Hard 2 was better than the first movie. Now, you could probably argue that Die Hard 1 is...
I'm with you.
Really?
Yeah, I like them on equal everybody else. It's one of our previous discussions. Everybody just automatically classifies the original Die Hard
as the best movie of the franchise. And stuff.
But I thought Die Hard 2 was fantastic. Yeah, it's a good movie.
Now, don't get me wrong. I can give Die Hard credit where credit's due. Is when you think of Die Hard, you think of Bruce Willis and Alan Rickman. May he rest in peace. But when you think of the villains, like the bad guys, you only think of Hans Gruber. And so when it comes to Die Hard 2, there are more villains in that film. And I think they were good. I think there were great villains in there. Don't get me wrong. But there wasn't a villain that stood out by themselves. It was a group of big villains. Again, that was a good thing. I think they did it well. Mm-hmm. But one had a more focused antagonist. Hans Gruber is the one running the shots. He is the one that, almost, gets fucking John McClane killed. Whereas 2, it required more of the people, even with some of the twists that happened in 2, where, turns out the fucking Marines were really portraying America and planning a terrorist attack against the United States. But 1 has a more focused villain, but 2 is way more action-packed, way more Christmas-focused, and I think the plot moved more smoothly in that one, whereas 1 was just, John McClane sneaking around and trying to find out what's going on. So I think 1 does better with suspense, but I think 2 does better with the action and the plot twist and everything. I do think overall it's a better movie, but again, I think the one thing better about 1 is that it has a more, focused antagonist.
Which one is it 1 or 2? Is it 1 where he's like, the terrorists in the world, and I gotta find one that has feet the size of the same size as my sister's? Remember when he's trying to put the shoes on? I think it's 1.
It has to be 1 because that's the one where they had the broken glass and John McClane. I think he either lost his shoes or they got broken or they got burned or something.
Something happened, yeah. And then
he had to walk barefoot.
And he tries to use somebody else's shoes or whatever off a dead body.
Yeah.
And he's like, the terrorists in the world. And I was like, I'll never forget when I saw that for the first time. I was like, even then, at that time, I was like, dude, that is a crazy phrase to say in the middle of a movie.
One of my favorite quotes from Die Hard 2, it's not one that anyone will talk about, is, I forget the whole tangent, but I basically just goes, can't you sell me door Christmas vacation? Eggnog, little hot chocolate or tea or whatever, it's eggnog and all that stuff. But no, I got called a motherfucking tin can.
I remember that. It's so ridiculous.
No, it's the whole movie, Die Hard 2, is crazy from start to finish. He fucking chases after a terrorist by going on a bike and just jumping off and tackling the dude. He fucking goes up against people on snowmobiles, just going he's crazy in that movie. Then he gets on top of a plane wing, trying to go against a bunch of terrorists, and he goes up against some Tai Chi master or something like that as a villain. It's this dude's insane. He is so crazy into it.
He was a TV actor that they just out of the blue, meaning Bruce Willis, they picked him for the Die Hard, and everybody that was surrounding the critics, everybody surrounding that original film was like, this thing's gonna bomb because this guy has no credibility as an action star, and that movie just went.
It went crazy.
It blew up, and it solidified him as a movie star rather than just a TV actor.
I think it's considered one of the top 100 action films of all time.
Of all time, it's also considered. I just had it in the trivia show, which was shocking because it's by two different organizations, IDBMB or whatever that one is, and
IMDb.
yeah, and another movie organization that does evaluation on movie rankings, movie topics, blah blah blah, categories. It's in the top 4 of Christmas movies of all time. Remember in the trivia show?
Yeah.
It was shocking because nobody got that answer except I believe you were the only one of the teams that actually got it right.
Yeah.
I didn't interpret it as a Christmas movie. Boy, it's getting late in the day. I don't know what the hell I'm saying.
I'm glad you're bringing I'm glad you're bringing all this up because the whole like it's gonna bomb thing. I don't know if you knew this about as a reference to like our last episode and just even our last segment talking about John Wick. I guess I don't think someone would BS when it comes to this. I'll just take the person's word. It was a comment I saw on YouTube. I was rewatching a John Wick clip. I think it was it 4 or 2? It was one of the two movies. I think it was 2. And did you know that Keanu was not the first person asked to do John Wick?
I did know that, but I don't know who else they had in mind. Do you know?
Yes. According to a comment, again, I can fact check this live.
I'm sure
I'll
you're
fact check
I'm
it
sure
live, but
you're
I'm not
right,
gonna I'm not gonna search it up until I make this claim, and then I'll search it up. It was actually Steven Seagal that was offered it.
Out.
And guess what?
What?
He denied it because he didn't think it would do well.
Thank God that movie would have sucked with Seagal. He can't even move anymore. He's such a weird guy. Back in the 90s, he had some awesome movies, but anything 2000s on, he just became a big fat, like, I don't know, it was just hilarious. Then he became a cop. He's like a real life, like some sort of police officer. He's like a legit, like he's a cop. Like, I don't know what happened to him. He's kind of a nut job. He's got some funny stories though. I mean, maybe he's not so crazy. I mean, but he is. I mean, he's made a lot of crazy decisions, meaning Steven Seagal. That franchise would have fallen flat on its face. Keanu is perfect. Keanu is John Wick. It's like Robert Downey. That is Iron Man. When Daniel Day-Lewis played Abraham Lincoln.
I still need to watch Lincoln. I still haven't watched
Abe Lincoln. You're like you feel like you're watching the authentic character. Can you imagine? Just ask yourself that. Can you imagine John Wick with Steven Seagal? What dude? The movie would have tanked. It would have been terrible. I did not know that. That's fascinating.
I don't know. I'm looking this up.
It doesn't matter. It's
I mainly
even
see
even if it's not, it's great content because I can't stand the idea of Steven Seagal as John Wick. I love Keanu.
I'm trying to see here really quick if there's anything about Steven Seagal being offered. I'm seeing mainly people like they swapped the trailers, like they replaced Keanu with Steven Seagal, but I'm not seeing too much info regarding that. Although, nonetheless, according to Google
Keanu
AI,
wasn't pick number 1 for the role. That's the main thing for everybody that's listening.
According to Google AI, you guys know my thoughts on AI. I really don't trust. Like, they tried saying, Mel Gibson was a Holocaust denier. So when I searched it up, when I read another report suggesting a conversation between Mel Gibson and someone else, he apparently asked someone if they were an oven denier. But when I searched it up on Google, and there was like an AI overview, it said that Mel Gibson asked the person if they were I'm not kidding you, Fletch. They literally said he asked her if she. This is what Google AI said. If she was an oven dodger. They said that he asked a girl if she was an oven dodger. Who said
Dude, that's an insane comment.
But
I mean, there is humor involved, but that's
that's like
that's wild.
I'm not even. But
no, we're not touching that one.
No, we're not. But according to the AI overview, if everyone wants to trust what they say nowadays, supposedly according to them, While Keanu Reeves was synonymous with John Wick, the role was initially conceived for older actors like Clint Eastwood or Harrison Ford, and Bruce Willis was seriously attached and in talks before Reeves took the part, with the project originally titled Scorn. Alrighty then. I did not know. So, but supposedly someone said, like, I can believe, because Keanu Reeves even said about Speed that he declined doing the Speed sequel because he said that one wouldn't do well, and supposedly he was right. I haven't watched, the sequel.
I never saw the sequel.
But Sandra Bullock came out, but he said like it wouldn't do well, and so he didn't want to do it, so he didn't come back for it or something. But anyway, it's just look interesting trivia.
That's so crazy. Oh my God, you blew my mind. Like with Seagal, that just I would have been so ruined. It's one of my favorite movie franchise. If Seagal would have took that over, it would have just ruined my life. I wouldn't be the same human being without Keanu's John Wick. Every single one of those movies I love, but yeah, that's in terms of like the movies for Christmas. That was my personal like take as a favorite movie to watch around Christmas time that nobody really affiliates with Christmas was The Godfather 2. Yours was Die Hard 2, which is ironic that they're both sequels. Yeah, they're number twos in terms of a series, but yours interpreted a little more as a Christmas movie, but not really, because the second Die Hard 2, that's a unique take because no one ever talks about that
if you mention
movie.
Die Hard, most people are going to talk about 1, and you might hear about 4. Live Free or Die Hard.
But you rarely hear about 2. Period.
I don't hear about I don't hear good or bad things. They'll just say, the first one.
So that's interesting.
And I think 2 did better. I'll fact check this live as well. But if I'm not mistaken, 2 did even better at the box office. Actually, way better. I think it made way more at the box office than the first one did. The first one made, on a $25 to $35 million budget, it made approximately $140 million at the box office. That's a big deal, given the time period. Also, what you just said, Bruce Willis being, like, just thinking that he would take the movie because he just wasn't known as an action star. Oh, what a patriotic day to release Die Hard 2. It was the 4th of July of 1990.
Wow.
So,
no kidding.
Hey, I got no qualms with that one. Yeah, it made $100 million more on a $60 to $70 million budget. It made $240 million. 2 did way better as a movie. Like, it did better in reviews and stuff. Oh, I guess the movie was set on Christmas Eve, but I just think so. That solidifies my point more. Even though 2 is not set on Christmas, I guess I just misinterpreted the setting, because John McClane in the beginning, he has his car towed and he was like, come on man, it's Christmas, but he was saying that like trying to guilt trip the officer to not giving him a ticket.
Come on, man.
But even with that being said, that actually solidifies my argument more that even though 1 and 2 are both set during Christmas, 2 implies way more Christmas elements than 1 does. The only thing it talks about is the fact that, we're like a few hours away from Christmas. And then, you have the song playing at the end. But then beyond that, I don't know why 1 is considered so much as a Christmas movie when 2 objectively, if you were... I should do one day if I ever get like better editing, like actual editing equipment and stuff like that. I actually want to do like what those commentators who say like, here was the difference about the original and then difference about like the remake or the director's cut or something like that. I want to do that with Die Hard 1 and 2 on how 2 is objectively more of a Christmas movie than 1 is. And I think 2 deserves more recognition as a Christmas movie. So that's just the way it is for me.
Any quick Christmas story? Because we're probably at well over a half an hour.
Yeah, we're at 34.
Any quick Christmas story that had any special... Listen to the train. Well, maybe it's about time to wrap up shop. Dude, you gotta love. Well, you know what's great? I shouldn't jinx it. Watch, I'll say it out loud, And then all of a sudden, that damn dog will come outside, start barking. The neighbor's dog F up the entire program. We had a nice little program today, and I'll be like, hey, it was quiet. You know, that's all I need to do. But we got the trains, we got dogs sometimes. Remember, we have Al Qaeda that sometimes shoots some Scud missiles at the barn, which tend to be the Buckeyes from the Buckeye tree I have in my backyard. Sounds like a bomb's going off in the barn. Yeah, it's just a little crazy. Any crazy or any significant Christmas story that you wanted to tell?
I think the craziest one, so there's like a lot of Christmas stories. I'd had to like just sit down and drink a hot cup of hot chocolate and just think, oh, hey, what happened this in 20... Actually, you know what? I can think of a crazy Christmas story for you. I do have one. There's two I can think of, but this one's crazier. So, back in 2012, I had dated someone, and she had a cousin, not related by blood, but related, I think, like, their family members married each other, so therefore they became cousins or something. I had dated her for a few months or something like that. This was during the holiday season. I think we started dating like September or October. I think it was September, then leading into the holiday season. So Thanksgiving, he lived in PA. I guess she and her grandparents, her actual parents weren't around. No problem. They went to PA to, visit the family and stuff that. And I was like, okay. Now, let's just say this. The girl I was dating did not have a great track record at the school. She was over being 14, being with a bunch of men. I didn't know anything about it at the time. That she was my first real, actual established girlfriend. She was technically my second that I asked out in to be my girlfriend. But she was my first longer one.
Yeah.
Couple
she
months.
She had a track record with grown men?
No. Just she had, she dated a bunch of boys.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
No. I'm sorry. If I knew given she was 14 at the time, if I knew she was with a 19-year-old, I'd be like, that's it. I'm out. That's scary. But it would have been crazy than what my story ends with. And so, they go there for Thanksgiving, and I celebrate Christmas that year, with my grandparents that were still around. May they both rest in peace. It was a lovely time. We went to go see the Hugh Jackman Les Miserables movie. Oh, okay. It was a great movie, great time with my mom, great time with my grandparents. It was a wonderful time. And later that day, I went to go see my girlfriend. I forget, it's been 13 years at this point, but I eventually, when I went over there, we hung out. And again, I don't know how this came up. If it was just out of nowhere, or said, hey, I gotta tell you something. Whatever. I couldn't fucking believe this much. On Christmas night, she told me that she slept with her cousin in PA that Thanksgiving week.
She slept with her cousin?
Again, not related by blood, related by marriage. But yeah, that happened.
That's so crazy.
Uh-huh.
It's bad enough
and
that she's telling you.
I'm like, are you serious?
Slept with somebody, but it's a quasi.
And she told me on fucking
member.
Christmas night.
It's a family member of some sort. That is really weird.
I found out on Christmas night after having a great day with my family.
This is the first in episode 17 that I don't have a crazy sexual story to share. Nick is the one with the very bizarre story. That's crazy, literally. That's really off the rails.
I know, you were expecting that.
No, not at all.
And then to end on that note, I walked out. I'm like, all right, she goes, really, Nick? And I'm like, yeah, you cheated on me with your cousin. You told me on Christmas Day. You best believe I'm fucking leaving. I didn't say something like that. It was something similar to that. I'm like, yeah, you just told me you cheated on me on Christmas Day, my favorite holiday of the year. Go F. I'm thinking to myself, go fuck yourself, lady.
Well, that pales in comparison, ladies and gentlemen, to the story I was going to share that I just looked because I was eating some Junior Mints in the wintertime trying to fix my dad's snowblower right before Christmas, and I didn't realize I had heated seats, which I still do in my truck, and one of the Junior Mints had slipped down and missed my mouth, went in between my legs, and I drove out to Amish country after after I got the junior mint box. I had an hour and a half drive, and I was sitting on a junior mint, and it completely melted. And I find out later because I go to pick up the snowblower part from my friend Rick, Marshall Equipment. We'll give him a shout out. There's no way they're gonna ever see